Hi, this is Doug McKnight with Capstruck Advisors, and today I'm going to show you how to use the property tax appeal calculator that appears on the property taxes page of the Capstruck Advisors website. That's www.capstruck.com. We can see here that we've got a list of parameters. The first parameter is the property assessment that should appear on your property tax bill or on your assessment notice, and in this case we want to use the total dollar amount of the assessment, which should include both the site or the land and the building. And so for our example here, we're going to use $4,553,070 for the property assessment. Then you want to put in the name of the county. And for the property types, you can see on the right here, we have a list of the various property types. There's a reason why we're using those particular property types. So you want to put in the exact property type that most closely matches the property that you're interested in. And then we skip down here and we have the millages for the county, the municipality, and the school. The county is 4.163. The municipal is 0.445. And for school we have 20.05. Then we put in the total building area. And here we get down to the LoopNet website, which we're going to be going over to. LoopNet is a subscription service, but you can get some general information, some ranges of the sale prices for various commercial properties. So here we've got a box. We've already selected office, and the location will be a box, but I've gone down here and gone to the more location options to select Chester County as well as Lancaster and Montgomery counties in Pennsylvania. For a sale date, we want to select within the last 2 years. Building size, we've put in 50,000 to 200,000 square feet. And for year built, you'll want to put in a range here, but for demonstration purposes, I'm not putting any range in here because I want to get a wider variety of comparable sales. Then we come down here and we click search. And this gives us a bunch of sales that have taken place in the last 2 years within our area. We can see we've got a 100 to 2,000 square foot sale up here. And then we've got some other ones, 20 to 30. And you might be familiar with some of the buildings that come up here. At the low end, we've got $5 to $6 per square foot for one of our office properties. So once we've got that information, we come back here and we've got a parameter of your estimate of market value per square foot, and you'll have to decide what that is. So in this case, we can look at the high end and see what happens here. And you can see down here for the results, we have the current level ratio factor and the equalized assessment based on that current level ratio factor. And then we've got the differential, and it turns out that if our property is worth $100 per square foot, then we're more than fairly assessed. And so down here it tells us not to appeal your property taxes. At the other end of the spectrum, however, we had a $6 per square foot. And if we enter that information in, then that indicates that we could save $17,000, almost $18,000 by appealing our property taxes. And so it tells us to definitely appeal the property taxes. And then we've got a property tax or property address down here. If you like to use that as a reference, that's the only reason that information's here. Now, there's some municipalities in Pennsylvania that have what's called a split assessment. This is different tax rates on the land and the building. And so while most of the assessments will have different numbers for land and building, certain municipalities and even fewer school districts break out different tax rates for the land and the buildings. And so in those relatively few cases, you want to come up over here and click on the split assessment. And when we get here, we can put in our land value or land assessment and the county that it's in. And then our building assessment. We're going to figure that the land and the building are both in the same county, but we have to put in what our property type is for the building. And then we're going to have different rates for millage rates for the land and the building. In most cases, the county is going to be the same for both. For the municipality, they're going to be different. So the land assessment is usually going to be very high, and the building assessment is going to be very low. And then in this case, we'll put this very low as well. And then in this case, we want to put the land area in acres. And come over here and we can put in our building area. And we do the same LoopNet search, except in this case, we're going to do a separate search for land and for the improved property to come up with an idea of what that is. And so we'll put in our land value at $20,000 per acre, and building area we'll use 20. And when we get all that information in there, it can see that for both the land and the building, it makes sense to appeal these property taxes. About $7,000 saved on the land and about $7,500 for the building. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of what these property tax appeal calculators are all about. And I hope that you use them. If you find out that you are interested in appealing your property taxes, I can suggest that you get our book, Render Less to Corbett, And you're also welcome to contact me if you have a need of a property tax appeal.